Well, Eddie, we're over the other side of the world at the moment this week, but today some breaking news from across the pond in the UK. AJ Dillian White, August 12th at the O2. Just give us your first words on that if you can.
Shocked, really. I mean, we all know we've got the Deontay Wilder fight locked in, really, for December in Saudi Arabia. AJ was adamant from the very start of planning this August fight. Dillian White was the guy he wanted. And even, a couple of days ago, I didn't think Dillian White would take the fight. It was almost like a game of bluff at times. I thought both guys were, would they really take it? And then, probably 48 hours ago, it got really real. Dillian sent a contract back, then he sent some other stuff that he needed to send with it. AJ was bang up for it. We've got ourselves a war on August 12th. It's the biggest fight of the year in the UK. It's a tremendous heavyweight fight. People talk about, is it the right fight? Absolutely the right fight. I mean, dangerous, history, bad blood, World Championship ambitions on the line, careers on the line, O2 Arena, the Lions Den. This fight has everything, and it's the kind of fight AJ wanted. He wanted a fight to get up for. We talked about other names, and everything was like, just not feeling it. And Dillian White I was with AJ last night in Dallas. He's absolutely buzzing for this fight, buzzing to have a war at the O2, and this is the kind of fight that you're going to see the spike back in him.
So much was on the line last time they faced each other. Is there as much on the line this time, or is there more?
Yeah, more, because last time was a British title, and we didn't know at the time the next fight would be a World Championship fight. This time you're talking about rivalry, you're talking about careers, you're talking about World Championship ambitions. There's a lot of question marks over both men from the skeptics, and there are always many of them. So both guys got a point to prove, and both guys would not back down in this moment. That's the key. Both guys said, no, I'm in. Despite I was speaking to people, please don't take the fight. No, we got the Wilder fight. Look, there was no stopping them. And I think it's great for boxing that the heavyweight division is kick-starting now as we head into the second half of the year.
Just on that, obviously you were with AJ in Dallas only just yesterday, but why is he taking such a risky fight at this stage? Like you say, when there's such a lucrative fight towards the end of the year with Deontay Wilder, why has he chose to take it?
Because he always wants to be in good fights. He always wants to give the fans big fights, and he also wants a fight where he can show what he's been working on with Derek James. He can have some fire in his belly. He wants to knock Dillian White out, and Dillian White wants to end AJ's career. This is the way these two feel about each other. The press conference is on Monday. And I saw a spring in the step of Anthony Joshua yesterday. Excited to put on a great fight for the British fight fans.
And meetings sort of taking place with the Saudis with a potential date in December as well. Just tell us about the developments of those talks, and is there a potential slot in December for that, pending this fight with White?
Yeah, listen, that fight is pretty much. I just spoke to Shelley Finkel 2 minutes ago. That fight is done. Subject to getting the paperwork, and almost you always need the paperwork. But with these people, we've known them well enough to know that fight is happening. They're not happy about the Dillian White fight. I don't think Shelley Finkel's happy about the Dillian White fight, because everyone's like, what? That's a very losable fight. So, but isn't that good? I mean, that's what we want. Roll the dice. And I said, if you can't beat Dillian White, perhaps you won't beat Deontay Wilder. So let's find out. And by the way, if you go in there and you beat Dillian White in style, makes the Wilder fight twice as big. And for Dillian White, he's looking at it and saying, I'll win the fight, I'll fight Deontay Wilder. Both guys are just rolling the dice here, and that's why it's a great heavyweight fight.
People are talking about a different AJ at the moment, a different AJ coming into his fight, his mindset, his training. You spent time with him over the last few days. What have you seen with his mindset and the way he is at the moment? What's AJ like?
Just a very, very focused, happy fighter at the moment. That's the thing that stood up. He's enjoying his training, he's enjoying the environment, he's happy. He puts everything into it, in the gym, out of the gym. His whole life is dedicated to being the best he can be. But like I said, he needed a fight that can light the fire inside him, and this is the one.
People talk about it being a crossroads fight for both fighters, really, but Dillian's fallen short at world title level before. If he wins this fight, does that catapult him in for a shot at the champions again, and what does it do for AJ?
Yeah, I think it puts him in for a shot at Deontay Wilder in a massive fight, and I think that's the way Dillian's looking at it. I don't think Dillian was over the moon with the deal, but thought to himself, I know I can beat AJ. And if I beat him, I'm going to get Wilder, I'm going to get Usyk or whoever. So like I said, at this stage, with AJ, with the Wilder fight locked in, with Dillian White's career on the line or whatever, both guys just saying, I believe I can win. Let's roll the dice. And that's beautiful for boxing.
And just talking as well about the build-up to this fight, it's going to be something special, isn't it? We've had so many build-ups.
Because I think Dillian will feel like he can get in AJ's head. He'll feel like, is his confidence still there? You'll see at the press conference on Monday, I'm sure there's going to be mind games, build up the way. And you saw the first fight. These two don't like each other. They've come a long way. I think there's maybe more respect than there used to be, but there's still an intense rivalry. It's 1-1.
It seems harsh to talk about retirement when it comes to a loss, but defeat for both men in this scenario. Is that the end of the road for either of them?
Yeah, I think that both guys want to fight for world titles, and the loser is a long way away from that. So that's the great thing about it, and people don't want to see people taking easy layups. They want to see people in real fights, and both guys believe they can win.
Turning attention to this weekend in Mexico, these shows are huge for us. Big for the zone. You enjoy coming out here. Pacheco-Gallegos, a word on that fight. It's a great main event.
Really good fight, and both very tall. Both very big 168 pounders. Gallegos is a very solid opponent, and for Pacheco we're building him worldwide. You saw him headline against Cullen in his backyard, now you're seeing him headline against a Mexican in Mexico. It's a really good main event as we look at the development of Diego Pacheco. Look out for Eduardo Rocky Hernandez, fantastic talent, going to be looking at world championships at super featherweight. And there's a great little super flyweight clash as well between Rodriguez and Gonzalez. Both guys arguably should be world champions already, and look out for Fed Pacheco, Diego's brother, the big heavyweight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's just final question, Ed. So in terms of Diego Pacheco's development, obviously Edgar Belanga's been thrown around quite a lot as a potential opponent down the line for him. Diego was quite vocal yesterday in his interview saying that I'm the better man and I'm ready to face him. Do you believe he's ready for that fight in a few times, and is it a possibility?
After this we're going to look to headline Diego Pacheco in LA, and then after that I'll see him being in big fights in the spring-summer of 2024. That Belanga, I think the fight is Jaime Munguia. We'll try and make that fight with the zone. But Diego Pacheco is going to be facing all the top guys at 168, and Belanga's right there. So that's one for the future. Must do the business tomorrow night here in Monterrey.